everybody, Allegra here. I figured I would do a little summary video of what we've been up to around here for the past few weeks. It's been getting cold, of course, and loving the change of season and the leaves everywhere, alternating the different colors. We had a little bit of wind. Now, we get really crazy windstorms up here, especially with the huge trees. It's actually really scary to be living amongst the trees when there's a huge windstorm. Luckily, we've not had any horrible windstorms yet, but we did have a little bit of a one, and it wasn't too bad. But what it did do was it left a beautiful little blanket of cedar tips, the dead kind of amber colored cedar tips all over the ground. So that's really nice. And it finalized all of the dropping of the broadleaf maple leaves on the ground. So there was a huge amount of these leaves to collect. So I walked down last night with my daughter to go try to catch some footage of the sunset. We just missed it, but there was still a little bit of sun. It was still nice. I was able to rake up a bunch of leaves into some piles, and then I went down this morning and I scooped them all up and put them in some big trash bags and put them in the compost. And just for leaf mold, you know, it decomposes and gets like way smaller than what you started off with. It just decomposes into almost nothing, but it's really beneficial for your compost. I've been doing some cleanup of the garden area, redid the shed, kind of took it apart and then rebuilt it into kind of a different structure. I like it a lot better now. Been collecting my Kentucky Wonder pole bean. I kind of let them sit on the vine for as long as possible, and I'll just replant those next year. They're heirlooms, so I'll have lots and lots of Kentucky Wonder pole beans next year. My dad grew some really terrific Hubbard squash this year. If you've never heard of Hubbard squash, they are really good. They get huge too, just like the ones that he grew. He's like, oh, they weren't big enough, I want to grow some real big ones next year. But he gave us a bunch. I grew one. It was kind of sad compared to his, but I cut one up and scooped the seeds out, which scoop out way easier than pumpkin seeds. Roasted those were really good. And I roasted the Hubbard squash itself, just left the skins on. So good. He grew them and harvested them right before, like the last minute before you're supposed to harvest squash. And they were just excellent. The best squash I've ever had. And they're very similar to in flavor and consistency as your butternut squash. My husband and I have been working on the studio for a long time, but we finally got the door made. So we installed the door. It still has a few details to work out. We need to add some hardware for locking, and then we need to add battens between each, or to lay on top of each board to prevent the air from flowing in from the outside. But other than that, I've moved all my artwork into the studio, and now I have a proper studio to work in. I'm very excited. I also wanted to touch base with those of you who were watching my live streams. I really enjoyed doing those. I was doing it on almost a daily basis for a while, and it was so much fun, and I really appreciate you all watching. And even if you couldn't make it for the live stream part, you watched afterwards. And I can't do those on a daily basis anymore. I just don't have the internet speed here. I called our company and I tried to get that updated. We don't even have a fiber box in this area. They were supposed to do some bonding and they couldn't do that. So it's a bummer. We can't improve our internet speed here. I do want to do live streams in the future. I have 2 planned for the very near future with 2 other YouTubers. So those are going to be coming up. I just need to work out the details with them and figure that out, but just not anymore on a daily basis. So that's essentially it. I just wanted to do kind of an update video and let you know what was going on around here. Really appreciate you all watching. I hope you're having a good evening. It's getting dark here really early and cold, like I said, but it's time to get cozy in our cabin and enjoy the wood fire and spend time with family. So I'm gonna go make dinner. I really appreciate you watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.